My friend is calling me. Wait. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm literally filming in the corner of my room, so it looks a little bit crowded. As you can see by the title below, today I'm going to be filming books that I've read for the month of July. There are 7 books that I read for this month, and I totally like each one of them. Like, they are books that I love, and they are books that were just like, and that I can kind of like keep in track of how many books I've read for the month or for the year. So let's just go and get started. Okay, they were actually 2 books that I read physically, and the rest of the books I read it on ebooks, so they are actually on my phone. First book that I read was this one. This is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertelli and Aisha Saeed. This is a young adult book. It's about a teenager named Jamie Goldberg and also Maya Rahman's, how they spend the summer together doing canvassing. Hey, Jamie and Maya used to be like best friends when they were younger, but then they kind of split up because they went to a different high school, and then they meet up again in one of the ceremonies. The mothers was asking them to do canvassing together. In return, Maya will get a car. Jamie will get a friend. He's very shy among people, and then he have this stage fright whenever he has to like talk in front of like people on the stage, while Maya is a very outgoing person. She's very confident. She likes to speak out her mind. So when they met together, they kind of like learn about each other a lot. One of the things that I like about this book is the side characters, such as Nana, like Jamie's Nana, and also Jamie's little sister Sophie. They are amazing. Nana is like this coolest grandma that you could ever think of, or you could ever have one. And then Sophie is like those younger sister that supporting you. So the reason I was attracted to read this book is because of Maya's background. Maya is a Muslim, and this time around when she was doing the canvassing, she was actually having her Ramadan, which is the fasting month for every Muslim in the world. So it's kind of cool so to see that perspective interpreted in a book. Now, while Jamie is actually Jewish, so I know a little bit about Jewish culture. Basically in this they explain how Sophie is actually having her bar mitzvah, I think. So I give this book about 3.5 over 5 stars. This is A Summer at Buttercup Beach by Holly Martin. It's really small, it's a really quick book, and I literally finished it within like 6 hours. It's about a girl named Freya Green who basically has the biggest crush to her best friend, aka her boss, aka her flat owner, named Rome Lancaster. So this was set up in UK, I believe. So basically Rome Lancaster owns a business whereby they make this glass artwork for buildings and stuff like that, and then Freya Green promoted on Instagram, and he became famous. This is situated in like a really small island, so everybody was shipping them together, but the thing is they just got off a bad relationship from the previous one, so that's why they kind of don't want to say out loud that they kind of like each other because they don't want to ruin their friendship. I really like this book because it's an adult contemporary romance book. So this is actually 4 over 5 stars. Highly recommended for like beach reading. When you read this, it's already in the content. There's no like introduction whatsoever. So okay, the next book that I've read was actually a young adults romance book. So I read The Summer I Turned Pretty Trilogy by Jenny Han. Oh my gosh, guys, I don't know why I didn't pick up this book at first. I actually read the To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. That was my first trilogy that I read from that author. So when I read this, I was just like, wow, it's really amazing. So The Summer I Turned Pretty is about a girl named Bells. I promise that's just her nickname. Every summer, her mother and her older brother will go to her mother's best friend's beach house or lake house in Cousins with her mother's best friend's 2 sons, Conrad and Jeremiah, Conrad being the eldest and Jeremiah being the youngest. So they have been going to the beach or lake house ever since they were younger. So that summer she was actually 15 years old, I believe. She ditched her glasses, she wore contacts, and she started to become pretty. Conrad and Jeremiah started to kind of have these weird feelings toward her. Bells actually have a crush on one of the brothers. So yeah, the first book I don't really like it because I feel there's a lot of input on Cameron's character. I believe that guy's name is Cameron. I'm not sure. It's Not Summer Without You. Okay, this book has a roller coaster of emotion because there's some sad things happen, and I kind of foresee that thing to happen because in the first book you could kind of like know by the end of the first book. Second book is just kind of like prolong of the first book. You not only get Belly's perspective, but you also get Jeremiah's perspective. I don't really like the second book that much. However, the third book is probably my favorite among the 3 books, and it's called We'll Always Have Summer So for this book, I loved it so much because I think it's like the closure of like the whole entire series, which I find it's very satisfying for me. 230 something pages, you get Conrad's perspective, which I was absolutely crazy over because I'm a big fan of Conrad. I ship Conrad with the girls so much, so when I get to see Conrad's perspective, is just amazing. And if you guys haven't read that book, you guys should read it. It's totally worth it, and it's basically like a love triangle a little bit, and there's a lot of like mix of emotion. I think this book is like from they're 15 until the girl is 24 years old, so yeah, but it's really quick and fast, and I really love the third book. The third book is like a really nice closure for me, and I just adore the third book compared to the second and the first one. Okay, the summer item pretty, I would actually rate it about 4.5 over 5 star because it's that good. Called Beach Read by Emily Henry. So this book is actually an adult contemporary romance book. I would suggest you guys to read it if you guys love funny, full of sarcasm. It's basically like a love to hate love story kind of book. So this book is about a girl named January Andrews. She's a writer, but she's a bit of in a slum right now because she have a deadline by the end of summer. Broken up with her fiance. She lost her dad, and she found out that her dad have this a little bit controversial relationship with someone else beside her mother. Her dad inherits this lake house to her. So during her slum, she decided to move to that lake house, and she was planning to sell it, but then she just ended up staying there for the summer to write her next book. So when she was moving lake house, she found out that the next door neighbor is actually her old college rival. So she wrote a romance comedy, while the other guy actually his name is Augustus or Gus, usually write literally fiction, I believe. They basically make a bet whereby they challenge each other to write the opposite genre that they usually write. She wrote Gus literally fiction, and Gus wrote rom-com. Basically, whoever wins, the loser have to promote the winner's books like on their social media platform. So since the challenge has been accepted, every Friday and Saturday they will take turns to teach each other what study or research they do in order to make their books. So during that period of time, that's when they hang out, and they start to like hanging out more and more, and then they discover this different side of each person. Yeah, and then there's where the love sparks, and that's pretty much it. So I love this book so much just because there's a lot of sarcasm in here, which I find that's really great in the book. They just give you a little bit of like more life to the book itself when you read. Gus always teases this girl, and then this girl will have this awesome comeback like every time. I love both of this character. I think they have like a really good chemistry, but they don't know that's like a really good chemistry between them. The mocking is just amazing. The sarcasm, the jokes, the everything about this book is amazing. You guys should really read it. Like, Beach Read is definitely 5 over 5. It was published in 2020, and it's totally worth the time you guys read it. So you guys should literally buy this book, Beach Read by Emily Henry. It's the best. It's bomb. It's 5 over 5 star. I loved it so much. You guys should go and buy it and tell me how you feel about it. The last book that I read for this month, it's called The Unhoneymooners by Christina Laurent. So this book was actually really famous like back when it was actually released, which is like last year. Oh my gosh, like I could not say enough about this book. I really love this. This is like kind of similar to Beach Read, but in a different themed, I would say. So this story is about a girl named Olive who have twin sister that is identical towards each other, and it's basically set up in the morning before the wedding till like the wedding ceremony. Olive is a little bit more introvert, and she's not really outgoing and stuff like that. Meanwhile, her identical twin sister, who is getting married that day, is actually very competitive, very confident, very extrovert. So they basically have like the opposite character. On the wedding day, her twin sister basically enter a lot of contests, and she basically wins everything, like her wedding dress, her bridesmaid or maids of honor dress, and then her buffet, and then all those stuff. However, Olive has like this big issue with her twin sister's fiance's older brother. named Ethan. Since they met up with each other since 3 or 4 years ago, they've been hitting each other. What happened was, whoever eats the buffet on the wedding day got food poisoning, except for Olive and her ultimate enemy, which is Ethan. They don't eat the buffet just because Olive has allergy towards shellfish. Meanwhile, Ethan just have these things where like buffet just have like a lot of germs and he doesn't like to eat it, so they both have like separate meals prepared for them, so they eat those meals. When they all have the food poisoning, including the bride and the groom, they can't go to the honeymoon, that her twin sister wins, which is in Hawaii. So the adventure starts when her twin sister asks Olive to go to the honeymoon in her place. They look super identical and have the same last name. Meanwhile, asks Ethan to go in his place because they have the same last name, because it's not refundable. That's why they still have to go no matter what. But that's pretty much what the Unhoneymooners is all about. They actually spend 10 days there in the Hawaii, I believe, in the honeymoons. They only spend like 10 days, but then during that 10 days they develop feelings towards each other. They have cleared out their misunderstanding. There's just a lot of misunderstanding in this book. The Unhoneymooners is literally 5 out of 5 stars. It's amazing. It's highly recommended if you guys love to hate romance kind of book. It's similar to Beach Read but in a different theme, and this book is just way more funnier compared to the Beach. No, actually I think they have the same decent amount of comedy. So that's pretty much all the books that I've read for the month of July. I hope you guys enjoy my speed review. There's probably gonna be a review for the next month as well. And if you guys read any of the books that I've reviewed or read for the month, you guys might want to leave in the comment box below and tell me how you feel about it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi.